Hello, this is Pastor Chris Wilson from St. Andrew Christian Church. I'm here to talk about worship and the sermon for Sunday. It is May 18th, and for this particular week, we have one worship service. We normally have an 8:30 and a 10:45. We just have a 9:30 only this week, and it's going to be outdoors, weather permitting. And we want you to bring your lawn chairs, probably more comfortable than regular chairs that we provide. But I want you to come be a part of that worship service at 9:30. One of the reasons for the shifting to outside and the combined service at 9:30 is we recently, our church adopted a land acknowledgement of ancient indigenous people that once stewarded the land. We want to acknowledge those ancestral tribes and acknowledge the land acknowledgement statement and some of the promises that we have made as a congregation in light of that statement. So that's a part of it. Is also Earth Day, even though it was back in April. It was Easter weekend, so we're incorporating some Earth Day components into that service as well. So we have a little bit of land acknowledgement celebration, Earth Day recognition, and then on top of that, I'm in the middle of my Star Wars series, and we'll be continuing that. The sermon, though it won't be related to the land acknowledgement stuff directly, it continues down my path of hope awakening, which is the Star Wars series that we've been on the last several weeks. The focus this week for the sermon is called Empire Encounters, and essentially is what do we do when we are face to face with evil or the very force we're battling against, when we feel like there's injustice in front of us, when we are face to face with injustice, how do we respond in those moments? The scripture passage is from Matthew 27. It is the components or the verses in where Jesus is dealing with Pilate following his arrest. And the whole section of 27 that we'll be focusing on is the whole dialogue, interactions between Jesus and Pilate. And we pay attention to Jesus' demeanor, some of his words, some of his reactions to a person that symbolizes the Roman Empire. And so how one faces that which they are up against says a lot about who they are and what's important to them and what their values are. And so we will kind of explore what it means to have empire encounters or injustice encounters and our role in that and our response to that when it happens. And in Star Wars, there are all kinds of figures that have to face stormtroopers, particular leaders within the Empire, generals and admirals in the Empire that face people of the dark side of the Force, Darth Maul and Darth Vader and Kylo Ren and the Emperor and the Sith Lord. And when we are face to face with all those difficult circumstances, and they are tough, hard circumstances, what do we do in the face of those circumstances? So that will be the focus of the message on Sunday. So I hope you'll come join us outdoors. I hope the weather cooperates. If it rains or the weather is bad, we will simply shift into the sanctuary. So we will have worship 9:30 regardless. I hope you will come, be a part of our ongoing Star Wars series and celebrating our land acknowledgement Earth Day. So I hope you come be with us on Sunday this week.